it effectively marks the milestone that transitions the company and the relationship from being a tech transfer relationship, where we've taken the Ilika process technology and product know-how, transferred it across to Cirtec, and we're now starting to ship products to customers.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. Joining me in the studio today is Ilika CEO Graham Purdy. Graham, great to have you in here in person.
Great to be here. Thanks for the invitation, Stephen.
Very welcome. So this is the first revenue generating step with Cirtec. How meaningful is this initial purchase order, and how should investors think about scale from here?
Well, I think investors who've been following the Stereax story will be very excited with this piece of news, because it effectively marks the milestone that transitions the company and the relationship from being a tech transfer relationship, where we've taken the Ilika process technology and product know-how, transferred it across to Cirtec, and we're now starting to ship products to customers, which we announced actually just before the turn of the year in 2025. And now we're following that up with the shipment of electrodes from our facility in the UK across to Cirtec to support their activities. So it's an early indicator that revenues are starting to ramp.
Graham, you're retaining the cathode deposition and battery formation in the UK. How does that shape margins, capacity control, and long-term economics for Ilika?
Yes, well, the principal reason why we retained the electrode deposition in the UK was that it's perhaps the most proprietary step in the Stereax manufacturing process. And it needs quite a lot of know-how in order to operate it effectively and get a high yield from the process. And so we didn't want to slow up the tech transfer process by transferring that early on in the relationship. But it does mean, actually, because we've retained that activity, that there is some early revenue associated with electrode production, and those electrodes are then integrated into the product that Cirtec goes on to sell to their customers.
With Stereax M300 now moving into commercial production in the US, what milestones should investors watch out for over the next 6 to 12 months?
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting 12 months ahead of us. Things to look out for are, first of all, a signal that we've integrated the Stereax battery into a Cirtec technology platform. So that's a precursor for it appearing in a device. An indication perhaps that it's been integrated into a customer device, and that the initial regulatory approval process has been started. And then, of course, commensurate with that, we'll start to see a ramp up in revenues.
How important are events like the North American Neuromodulation Society and MD&M West in converting technical interest into repeat orders or customer adoption, Graham?
Yes, well, these are key events that we highlight, and in fact, one of my colleagues will be with the Cirtec team at the NANS event, which is coming up shortly. And these are events where we get to interact with the industry, with potential deployers, surgeons of the technology. It really is a way of boosting interest in the product, and it's effectively a business development activity for us.
Well, Graham, I hope you'll continue to keep us abreast of your progress. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thanks for the invitation.
Graham Purdy is the CEO of Ilika.